Guys, the Nephilims are not just in Kenya alone. I saw a Nephilim, a very good-looking Nephilim in America. The Nephilim tried to climb a Lamborghini but failed. You know I don't know if we'll get that
clip. I wish
clip.
we can get it.
Oh man,
and he's just walking in the streets and people are like, wow. They marvel at the sight of him, you know.
Yeah, because women were reaching, like literally reaching on his butt. Some men, if you're lucky enough, were reaching at his belly button. But this giant
belly button is too far reaching. He was very tall. Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. In case you're new here, my name is Maren.
And I'm Maureen. So guys, you remember during the days of Noah when God sent floods because he wanted to kill the Nephilims and the giants. And then we're also told that in future the giants and the Nephilims will come back, and when they come we will welcome them with open arms, and then they'll be eating so much food, a lot of food, more than we do ourselves, and it will reach a point where this food will not be enough for them. They will turn and start eating humans, and that is the very same reason back in the days of Noah God killed these things.
Right. So in today's episode we're going to be featuring a prophetess called Celestial. I know that some of you might be familiar with her work because she normally talks about things she foresees happening, and she had talked about Nephilims coming back on earth into this world and being integrated into society as if it were a normal thing.
Yeah, and so today's video is not meant to bully anyone, but it is meant for entertainment, and it's also meant for educational purposes. So since last month, we've had 3 giants come out of nowhere. They all don't have IDs. They are here in Kenya. They don't have IDs. And the most famous one was discovered last month, and he calls himself Gen Z Giant.
Right, that is Bradley.
Is it Giant or Goliath?
Goliath. You guys, I encourage you to go look up his story because he's gone on so many interviews. Look up his
stories all over the internet.
Yeah, look up the Gen Z Giant or Bradley if you'd like it. Type his name and look for his stories. Please go and watch it. So before we talk too much, guys, let's watch this video and then we come back and talk about it.
You let us know what you think about this video.
Sleeping with who in the days of Noah and giving birth to what's in the days of Noah. Understand that the Spirit of the Lord God is warning the church now that we will see these things come back and dwell. Ancient Nephilim will be again, but also new bioengineered forms of the Rephaim shall appear and terrorize this world as never before. This is punishment of man. Thank you, Holy Spirit. The idea, Kenya, that I've sat here prophesying to you for some time now, the entire Nephilim series is before you. And then 3 random men, all over 8 feet tall, have hit Kenyan society and are being welcomed and treated like celebrities. So African society that says they have to know your mother and they have to know your father. They have to know your tribe. They need to know your village. They have to know your people. You must be able to produce your origins. Not 1, not 2, but 3 unaccounted for beings have magically appeared on the Kenyan landscape. And what are Kenyans doing? Treating them like celebrities. Bradley and whoever the other 2 are. The man calls himself the Gen Z Goliath. The rest of the world, do you want to know what they're doing with this man? They're treating him like a crown prince. They're taking him to the best hotels. They're waiting on him hand and foot. They're taking him to the ateliers. Why? Because it's impossible for him to buy clothing in the normal Kenyan stores. So he's getting tailor-made outfits and suits made, tailor-made shoes made because they can't find his size. He's currently walking around in some massive flip-flops that look like they were cut out of tire tread. That's not all. You see, the Master's Voice Prophecy blog is the place where you come to hear the truth. Is Bradley, whose skull is the size of the bonnet of a Buick. The man's skull is not the normal human size. His jaw alone would give anyone pause. For if that man were to open that jaw and clamp it on a normal man's arm, that man would lose the arm. That's how big his skull is. Is Bradley lacking for women? Are the women staying away from Bradley? No. No, they're intertwining their fingers with Bradley on TikTok and walking in the desert with him as people film them from the back. Bradley's not lacking for female attention because women never met a demon they didn't want to get into bed with. How long have I been prophesying here that it is the females of today who will give birth to the Nephilim? Because no matter what they see, fallen angel, zombie, demon, hybrid, the aliens that come with the long blonde hair and the icy blue eyes and they're 7'1" and saying, I come in peace. Women will sleep with anything. With anything. And so will many men of this time. Bradley's not lonely for female companions. I guess they're just wondering if he's large everywhere. Women, you are shameful. Bradley is a sensation in Kenya. They're not running away from an obvious Nephilim. They're running to him. And either the second or the third one has told them, listen to this, rest of the world, Kenya, you keep quiet for you have no shame. The rest of the world can hear that the second or the third one of these massive 8 feet men has told them, oh, there are many of us. So they told you with their mouth that there are many more of them that will come into your midst in Kenya without credentials. But you're taking them to hotels and sewing them clothing. This man is on every talk show in Kenya. He's podcasting. He's on talk shows. The hosts are so excited to see him that when he gets on the show, they drag up a chair, stand on the chair, and then they still can't reach the height of the man. An average man on a chair is not as tall as this thing called the Gen Z Goliath. This is the wisdom of the end times, but I prophesied this year since 2021 that they will come out, and when they come out, they will be met with love, curiosity, fascination. I'll leave you with this. They took this man to a restaurant and they brought food before him. This man had no recognition of the foods they brought. Something as simple and as normal as pizza. He was looking at it like he had not seen it before. And if you look on TikTok, you can actually see the video of him side-eyeing how the people at the table were eating and then copying them. I don't blame Bradley. Usually he eats what was sitting at the table eating with him. Wisdom. This is the most pricey commodity in the end times. And with every passing day, this blog is proved true more and more, and wisdom becomes more and more expensive. When we are left here to be tested with things like Gen Z Goliath.
So guys, welcome back. And I think the point that resonated with me so much from Celeste's point of view is not only Kenya, but Africa as a general. Back in the day, our ancestors used to investigate things so much, and they would even investigate what kind of food you cook in your home. And this was for the purpose of marriage. If my son was going to marry someone's daughter, we both would do investigations on each other.
Yeah, you'd have to trace the family line of somebody you intend to bring into your family or into
to know everything about their background. And when Celeste says, in our days, like right now, men will sleep with anything, women will sleep with anything. I don't blame her for saying that.
It's because it's happening right now. By the way, people are marrying each other. There was a point in Africa where people used to say, be careful you don't marry your brother. You know why this is? Because we got to a point where people stopped tracing family trees,
lines,
and even stories were coming out where someone comes to Nairobi and they get a wife, they fall in love, and then when you are already married or when you already have a child with this person,
you take them home to the elders, introduce your wife to your elders with the intentions of getting married, only for your elders to tell you this is your mother's daughter from another.
Because that family line, they stopped
doing that tradition of tracing people's backgrounds.
Right. So why are we talking about this? When this Gen Z Goliath story was coming out,
even I was excited, but at the back of my mind,
you were like,
I was
why now?
Why now? And why is he so tall like that?
Right. And there's a lot of abnormal things that are happening, guys. That things that happen, you just have to take them with questions,
Yeah, and I feel like Kenya has a spiritual portal, and if the Nephilims are coming to Africa, and if Kenya is one of their entry points, I just have to wonder, are these ones real human beings or some military experiments that were dumped in Kenya? But
there's somebody somewhere said Kenya is the perfect breeding ground for experiments, right?
Because even our government sells us out to these people who wants to experiment,
right? And then so when you look at what is happening in Kenya, there's a lot happening. Bill Gates is in Kenya. He's heavily involved in Kenya. So when you start seeing a story breaking about a Gen Z Goliath, and he's very, very tall, by the way, the kind of shoes this man wears are it's not normal. It has to be custom made. Yeah, we do understand that there are people who
are big like that, but not
abnormally
like
different, But when it starts now coming, it's a trending topic where today you discover one giant, the
tomorrow
next day
another one comes up,
and they all have similarities. None of them holds a Kenyan ID.
Yet they claim to be Kenyan.
Exactly.
The military. This is just what we are suspecting. Whichever military, I don't know from where or what organization, they might inseminate. Me, when I go for my pregnancy checkup and all that, they might inseminate me with a Bradley or a whatever. I go give birth to Bradley. I think Bradley is my son, but he is an experiment that is bringing back the Nephilims and all.
He belongs to the government.
He belongs to the government, and I'm just helping the government raise him, and they're keeping an eye on me, and I don't even know I'm living my life with the eye of the powers that be.
You guys, there was another video we featured on our channel of the Celestial and the Nephilims coming back, right? And in this video, she was talking about how in the era where abnormal things are going to be happening, and we are going to be accepting them as if they were normal things and embracing it. And she was talking about how,
she was also saying, we as human beings, like the normal human beings, will be the ones to defend these things when they start coming up, and we will really so much want to treat them as human beings because it's the human in us,
right? And then, guys, when you look at this Bradley case, when he got famous in 1 week, and I'm telling you, the person who manages him got him a social media account. This guy right now, if you look for him on Instagram, he has TikTok, so many followers, TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, and he's become so sensational to the point where even traveling companies here, a very famous one that is even used by people from abroad to come and experience safaris here, they're using him to promote their brand, and they're taking him on safaris. People are just, let's just say, very excited about.
They are very welcoming without doing their due diligence as to where they come from.
Yeah, and then you guys call me naive, but growing up we used to be told stories. As we grew up in an era where, although it was getting to its expiration point, but we still experienced a little bit of it before the culture died, where kids would be collected together, and then you'd be seated somewhere,
and then you'd be told stories by an older person.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So this reminds me of those stories we were told growing up about a giant who invaded a village, terrorized the villagers, ate the villagers.
It's just that these ones, the ones that have been discovered, haven't started terrorizing any Kenyans. But thing with experiments is the powers that be want to see how you receive this first one. If they see the first one is working well, they'll implant the second one in a place. If they see you have no quarrels with the second one, they bring the third one, and then eventually with time we will be mixed with giants and whatnot,
I would say America has gotten to the point it is right now because of such kind of experiments, legalizing certain types of drugs, legalizing pew-pews, I don't know, a lot of laws, should we say, a lot of laws that were passed so that they could try and control a certain thing and has ended up destroying the society that was,
Yeah.
But anyway, guys, I don't know what you think about this episode. Let us know in the comment section. We really thank you for joining us on today's episode.
Yeah, and before we go, guys, the Nephilims are not just in Kenya alone. I saw a Nephilim, a very good-looking Nephilim in America. The Nephilim tried to climb a Lamborghini but failed. I don't know if we'll get that
clip. I wish
clip.
we can get it.
Oh man,
and he's just walking in the streets and people are like, wow. They marvel at the sight of him,
Yeah, because women were literally reaching on his butt. Some men, if you're lucky enough, were reaching at his belly button. But this giant
belly button is too far.
high.
He was very tall.
He could literally carry Maren like this with the head like this. But what do we say?
Anyway, guys, remember to subscribe if it's your first time here. Turn on the notification bell, alright?
And let us know what you think about this episode, and we'll see you on our next episode.